Warning, this episode contains adult language, mature situations, cold beers of Whatsontapp, delicious food, portals to alternate worlds, greedy servants, and protective customers. Listener discretion is advised. Episode 313, What's on Tap is Good with Fried Food. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, some podcasts and manga reviews about connecting enhanced narratives. This is your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you guys are doing great. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you don't know, Spiraken is some podcasts and manga reviews about connecting enhanced narratives. What does that mean? Well, pretty much every episode we talk about one or two geeky topics. This is a manga review, so obviously we talk about mangas. Our motion picture review, we talk about movies, game review, games, etc., etc. And we tell you the pros and cons about it, how the art style is, the characters are, how the game plays. For manga, most importantly, how the plot is, and if it's worth investing your time in or not. You don't have to agree with anything we say, but we try to be educational, entertaining, enlightening, and most importantly, informative. You can find any of our episodes at www.spiraken.com. That's Spiraken. We're also on Apple Music, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, and many other social media sites. Just type in Spiraken, I guarantee you'll find us somewhere. We're even on the PlayStation Network doing some cool stuff there. Now, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can email us, spiraken@gmail.com. Also, follow us definitely on Instagram. And if you saw us at Anime Boston, message us. Let us know what you thought about our panels that we had there. It was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what I need to do for next year, what I can fix, because next year's theme is going to be bento, so I'm trying to figure out, do we do more food stuff? Do we do more drinking stuff? We'll see. Now that all that's out of the way, hope you guys are doing good. We are kind of relaxing after Anime Boston. Happened a couple days ago. Our review is going to be coming out soon, but, you know, we're just trying to get our energy back and use the strength that we can. Greta she did a lot of great stuff at the con, and she's just, she's relaxing. As for me, no rest for the Zan. So, I'm ready to review another manga, and especially one that is so interesting and intriguing. Now, if you remember the last episode, I spun that one, that only, the Love Manga! And it dictated unto us to be reviewing a very interesting manga that is very similar to a manga that I reviewed all the way back in episode 235 of the Spiraken Manga Review. But before we get into that backstory of how it's very similar to the manga we talked about then, let's get over the basics on this. So this manga is based on a light novel written by Natsuya Semikawa, which came out in 2012. The manga came out in 2015. It was illustrated by Virginia Nitohei and published by Kadokawa Shoten, but we're getting it over here by Udon Entertainment, so it's got a nice little glossy cover to it. It is a seinen series that has 5 volumes to it, and there's an anime adaptation, and it's pretty awesome. The name of this manga is Isekai Isakaya Nobu, or as we have it over here, Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu. Now, the premise of Isekai Isakaya Nobu is that there is a bar in the alternative world of Iteria that just shows up. It is an Isekai, a Japanese pub that just appears. No one knows how it got there, but people go in, they walk in, and they're kind of confused by some of the weird things, because the world of Iteria is in the past. We'll say it is in the 1300s. It's a kind of weird, we'll say, I don't want to say Norwegian, Swedish, German world, but it's like Middle Ages, Middle Europe. It's in the past, or in an alternate world where they have a lot of guards and noblemen, and there may be dragons around. We don't really know. There's nothing really too mythical there. But this Isekai is there, and people walk in, and they deal with the staff. Now, the 2 staff people are the owner, the Taisho, whose name is Nobuyuki Yazawa. He's the cook. He is that, the chef, the master, the person who does all the stuff for everybody. And then there's the lovely waitress, Shinobu. And Shinobu is just this cute girl who works there, and she helps all of the customers. Now, every single chapter is based on someone's experience going into Nobu. All of the things that they occur. Primarily, the main people it focuses on are a pair of palace guards, Hans and Nicholas, and them interacting with Shinobu and Taisho, and them just trying different foods. And eventually we have other characters showing up, including the captain of the guard, Berthold. You have the various members of the Water Transportation Guild, the 3 leaders who are constantly fighting with each other. You have Gestalt, the tax collector who comes in. You have the local deacon shows up. And a lot of other characters show up, and they interact with this restaurant, which is mysterious and unusual, and they eat good food there. Why is this happening? We don't know. Also, interesting part about it is that the front door where they enter is connected to this world of Iteria. That's true. But the back door is connected to our world. So sometimes things may slip in from one side to the other, like, oh, we need to get more pickles. Oh, I'll go to the back and don't worry about it. And hey, what are those lights through that door? Don't worry about it. So it's an alternative world that's unique. It's a very different type of isekai where it's kind of the bridge between an isekai. Here is the place that's the in-between place between the alternate world and our world. And it's a lot of the food that's shown. That's the star of this manga. It's, Hans and Nicholas show up. They sit down. They want to drink the local draft, which they call Whatsontapp, because they heard someone say, what's on tap? And now suddenly that's the name of the drink that they have. It's Whatsontapp. It's become the joke of the Nobu. It's, okay, we want to, instead of, I want a lager, I want a draft beer, it's what's on tap. So that's what they drink. Or they'll get the different foods, like potatoes, or chicken karaage, or taro root, or tofu, or sushi. Everyone has their little story, and they come in, and they eat, and something happens. They're happy, they're sad, it solves a problem. It deals with the fact that, one character comes in and he's going to get married to the daughter of a squid fisherman. And he hates squid because his grandfather told him that there was a giant monster squid, like one you'd see in 1,000, or was it 10,000 leagues under the sea. So he's horrified and scared of squid. So they actually make him some squid in a very unique way, give him different types of squid. Sashimi, they give him fried squid, they give him squid wrapped up. And he ends up loving it. Another one is a character wants something that is not sticky, not starchy, not smelly, not potatoes, not meat, not fish. And they end up giving this person a tofu warm dish. And they love it. So everybody has their dish that they enjoy. And there's even one chapter where all the characters get what's called their, I didn't write the name down, but it's pretty much their specialty. And everyone orders that, and it's their favorite food that Shinobu and Taisho know they eat. So it's their personal dish. And it's kind of cool. It's a little cool how they do that. Now, I brought up episode 235. You're probably wondering why if you've never listened to the podcast. Or if you have, you probably stopped the podcast and gone to listen to 235, which is a fun episode. It's where we talk about Restaurant to Another World, another manga that is very similar to this. The premise of Restaurant to Another World is that there's a restaurant that on Saturdays only, magical doors pop up all throughout this magical world, and creatures come in and they eat food, and they charge very little. And all the characters there are all different. Every chapter is based on one character's experience in the restaurant, and they have their favorite food. So one guy eats fried shrimp, so he's known as fried shrimp. Another person eats pork cutlet, they're known as pork cutlet, so on and so forth. It's very similar to Izakaya. However, I find that one to be a little bit stronger because of the fact that it's not the same 3 characters. I mean, yes, there are a couple other characters, and you have a very similar, character list. But that one it seems a little fresher to me. This one's fun, it's fine. There's a lot of really good designs in there. And also, when you find out why the Isekai exists, it's pretty creative. But it's just, I don't know, that one has a little more of a punch to it. That one has a little more character development and looks a little bit more delicious. But on the same end, the food here is also, drool-worthy. So they both get points on the food aspect. That one wins on its characters. You have various different characters. The only 2 characters that are reoccurring are the chef, the master, and the waitress. What's her name? It's been a while. I can't remember. But in this one, it's similar. You have the 2 main characters, but then you have Hans and Nicholas keep showing up, and they're there doing stuff. Then at one point, you have a plot involved where someone from the other world is trying to horn in on the restaurant, and they want to buy the restaurant, but they can't because technically it doesn't exist in the world, and yeah. So, intriguing, very different, a nice take on Isekai. That the art design is really, it's well done. It's not as good as Restaurant to Another World. You're going to hear me keep comparing it to Restaurant to Another World. It is different, though. So, on its own merit, it's a very diverse and fun manga. It's something different. This came first out of the two of them. I think this was the prototype for the concept of a restaurant in another world, and they did a great job, and I think that Restaurant to Another World just fixed and shaped it to be better. So for that reason, I'm going to have to give Izakaya Nobu, Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu, our second highest rating of Bar from Parade, Don't Return Unless Offered Pocky. It's really good. It's just that there's some little things that could have been done a little better. So, yeah, if you disagree with me, email me, zan@spiraken.com. Let me know what you think. And tell me which of the foods that you saw in this manga you wanted to try. Because after watching this and reading this, I have to admit that I wanted to totally start making the food. And I may have been experimenting with some of the sandwiches and some of the chicken and some of the squid. I may have been playing chef for a little bit. It's like when I was reading Bartender and started making drinks. So, yeah. Tell me if you... That is going to be the random question today. Have you made any of the food from Izakaya Nobu? And if you have, what did you make? So, I think that's it. So remember, if you have any comments or questions or concerns, email me, Zan, that's xan@spiraken.com, or direct message me at Twitter. We're on all those lovely things, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those lovely social media sites. And with that in mind, let's get to the part that so many of you have been waiting for. Some people argue it's your favorite part. That one, that only. Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, exceptional substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on organ juice and spin the Wheel of Manga. If whatever number it lands on, that's what we're reviewing the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 314. And we've got some great titles on here. We've got some romance series, we've got some violence series, we've got some series that are just old school, and we have some that are brand new. So let's spin and see what we're going to review the next episode, shall we? Number 6. It's a good number. And so in the next episode, we're going to be going a little bit Yakuza-y. Because we're talking about, well, former Yakuza. We're going to be talking about a manga about a former Yakuza who is now married. What are we talking about? We are talking about a new series coming out to the States called Gokusho Fudo, or Way of the House Husband. Check that out in the next episode. This is your host, Zan. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you guys next time. We are Gonzville. See you.